Hi-Tec oils, available from Auto One, Sprint Auto Parts and all leading independent auto stores.
The South Circuit definitely brings a new edge to this series.
You make one mistake, you're out. I mean, you have to be on your game every single time you get out on that racetrack.
It's just awesome, an awesome feeling that you want to feel all the time, and that's what the definition of drift is, you know what I mean?
As drivers, that's where we want to be, sort of up on the door at high speed.
The adrenaline rush is what we're after, and I think this is going to do it for us. The track is unreal, it's high speed, it's what we want, it's close battles on a fast track, so South Circuit couldn't be better for us.
Personally, it's one of my favourite tracks. You get to come off the start line, first, second, third, full chat, over the hill, throw it in like near on backwards.
We're talking about top of third gear entries into the South Circuit, which is well over 150 k's, so it's definitely going to separate the boys from the men.
Speed is the key. They initiate, you emulate, all you can see in all that smoke is just tail lights. Keep an eye on that car in front of you and just go as hard as you can, and that's a perfect run.
It's a beautiful day to go sideways. This is round 2 of Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars. Thanks to Achilles Radials, we're on the South Circuit here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Just a fantastic place, almost tailor-made for drifting. And I have Dave Carter joining me. Dave, it's good to be able to stretch the legs again after being all pent up over there in the figure 8.
That's it, Chad. The South Circuit's only a couple of 100 metres away from the peanut, but it couldn't be more different. Has a couple of elevation changes, a real high-speed entry, and the drivers I bet are going to absolutely love getting the chance to have a crack at it today.
All the big names are here, including your series points leader, Scott Shemry, winner of round 1. Bo Yates in second place after going to that final. And Jim Turner, he was the big shock, making a podium at round number 1. But there is James Abbott outside the top 8. And with this reduced championship order this year, he needs to at least make the top 2. A chance now to look at this fantastic South Circuit, describe exactly where you need to place your car. Dave, talk us through the clipping points that we're running today.
As a judge motorsport, drifting is just as much about proximity to the clipping points as it is to the other car. And as you see Bo Yates come through the first clipping zone there, that's where you're starting to collect points. As you move to the inside of the track, we've got a second clipping point, making a nice technical transition there through the inside. And this is a new one this time around, an actual outside clipping point. As we go to the on-car here, you can see the inside curb used to be where it was at the right of the track, but now we're forcing drivers to the outside of the track, making it a bit more difficult as you come up to the hill to the second clipping point. And right here you can see the difference between a good and a bad clip. Kieran Jackson running a little bit wide there. That inside gutter and that orange cone is exactly where they want to be. Coming into the last transition and our last clipping point just before the finish line over here, marked by the orange witch's hat.
Really excited about the new look of the car. Between round 1 and 2, we spent a lot of time giving them a bit of a makeover, and we've had a lot of help from our new sponsors just on board now. JSAI Aero have done the new body kit for us. Killer Image have done the new wrap and the design on it. But most of all, we're excited to have the Australian Brewery with us for this season. They're really helping us out as a naming rights sponsor.
Yeah, the boys have been working hard the last couple of weeks to get all the cars done. Yeah, we're pretty happy with how they turned out. Hopefully we don't crash from the first lap.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Hi-Tec Oil Series has run on the South Circuit, and it's an awesome track. I know all the drivers here are really excited to get out there and burn some tyres at a higher speed than what we've been doing on the figure 8.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've always loved driving on the South Circuit, a lot high speed, plenty of hook up the hill, plenty of action, room for goal, so I can't wait to get out there and just throw it down as hard as I can.
I guess like any other time we battle, we're just going to go 100%. Shembry took out round 1. I didn't have the best of luck there, so I'll be definitely doing my best to try to climb up the ladder a bit from where I'm sitting in the championship points after round 1.
Yeah, James will push hard over to get back up there with me this time, you know. The calibre of drivers have stepped up, so I've definitely got my work cut out for me this round, but you know, I'm going to throw it down as hard as I can like I usually do and hopefully get out on the top again.
Yes, they are Drifting's power team, the Blaze Unit crew, and they're not too far away from taking the track. There is Scott Shemry, loving the sunnies, Mr. Cool. Time to check out some highlights from qualifying. We're going to check out the top 3 in particular, and Billick locking himself, Dave, into 3rd, and that is how you take that outside clip.
That's right, Chatty. You can see Anthony getting right out to the outside of the track there, and that's exactly what the judges are looking for, and he knows it. Real confident coming past the judging booth, just doing exactly what he had to do to secure 3rd.
First and second at both Toyotas. Now, it was a bit of an ugly entry for Brad Tui, and then it turned into something supreme. I'm not even sure he meant to get that kind of angle, but he just kept his foot absolutely planted. Check out the speed from the brand new Toyota combination. He landed himself in 2nd, and I think he was pretty happy with that effort.
Yeah, no, it feels great. Like, to be honest, the Achilles tyres have just got amazing grip. I might actually like go up a couple of PSI to take a little bit of grip out of the car. Felt a little bit too grippy, if there is such a thing, but apart from that, no, it felt great.
But the man they're all chasing once again, Bo the Show Yates, this 2JZ motor, which he's somehow shoehorned into this car, has put him in the #1 spot yet again. Have a look how clean that run is, hitting that outside clip perfectly. The judge is giving him a 94.6 score out of 100. Nice work, Bo.
Yeah, it's a bit sketchy on the first run, actually. We're here at the South Circuit, obviously, this weekend, and the run-up's quite large, so the boys at Hypertune have put a new power plant in the car this weekend. It's got up around 500 kilowatts, so I went in a bit hot in the first one, but I rolled back a little on the second, and yeah, to qualify first, I'm really stoked with the new engine and a relatively new car and setup.
Yeah, it's pretty big with all the boys coming to me this year and getting their cars sorted out for the season. We have Matty Hill, Jabbett, Shembry, we're going to have Scott Porter's car, myself, Camo. There's a few cars that have come to us, which is really great. Yeah, it's really important for us due to the sport being all about image. This year, everyone's trying to get the best to get out for their sponsors and on TV and making their car look the part. Yeah, so far it's this is my first time on the track, so we're just still learning, getting the setup right, and we're just going to have some fun.
A driver with a bright future, Joel Goff, and he is responsible for wrapping the majority of the field here at round 2 at Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars. We're on the South Circuit. Big thanks also to Achilles Radials. We're going to check out some of the highlights from round of 32. How's the commitment from Jason Bay ripping that rear bar off the V-Sport Ute? He would also spin it round, and that would see Mitch Jeffrey go on through.
Unfortunately, a bit of a spin ending his day there and an instant 0 from the judges. Another spin, this time a little bit more catastrophic, was Jackson chasing Felgate. And you see here a bit of a spin and contact. Absolutely unavoidable there, even with a bit of a gap.
Jackson would be awarded the win as a result. Loving some of the angle that we're seeing on approach down towards that first clipping point. Benny Meir hounding the back of Adam Bryant. Bryant qualifying in the number 19 spot, and Meir getting the nod on that occasion.
Date giving Bonnie a really tight battle in this one, actually gaining the advantage in the first run, but have equal pegging in the second round, only scraping through by the skin of his nose in the street registered S13.
So cool that that thing is street registered. Jim Turner 3rd in the points, needs to continue that kind of form here this weekend. And have a look at that one, Finney O'Hare losing the rear end of the skyline in front of him, handing Jim a certain path through to the round of 16.
Another close, almost contact here going off on the infield was Scott Porter. Edwards luckily able to pull it up from behind and moving through to the top 16. a battle between two V8 powered traditional drift chassis here, Worth and Quigley, with Worth actually pulling it off in the end.
Massive amount of angle towards the end of that run. Missed that last clip, but did enough to get through regardless. A couple of nice cars between Hill and Moran, and definitely one guy to watch out for, Matty Hill. He's been very impressive so far for a qualifying and the round of 32. How much further can he take his charge?
That's probably one of the best entries we've seen there, Chad, from Veteran Jabbit, right in that outside clipping zone and moving to the second one, winning it clearly even without his chase car's spin.
Nick the Drift Kid Coulson in the Achilles Radials ute, no issues there, taking a round of 32 win. Loving the aggressive angle of attack from the Hi-Tec RX-8 of Al Sharka, getting the win over the old Holden of Ben Leishman. Check this out for a good bit of driving.
That's it, Billick versus Bobbin, staying cool, calm and collected as Bobbin kind of darts to the infield and to the outside.
Sam Tabush inside the top 8 points so far, up against Rob Arbolino, and it would be Arbolino that would win this extremely tight battle. Highflex Nissan missing one of the clips there. Now this was the highlight of our round of 32. Cam Moat making the switch from the Hi-Tec Oils Nissan 350 to his own car, and then laid it down big time against Scott Shemry, the points leader. We had to run these guys not once, not twice, but 3 times to get a result. Have a look at the proximity.
Yeah, super close from Cam in the chase position there, Chad, and super impressive as well was the fact that he actually only got 1 full power pass, and that was in the 350.
Unbelievable. So Cam Moat would eventually, believe it or not, get eliminated in this round of 32 despite driving the wheels off that car. So unlucky. It's one of those classic stories of someone had to lose. We had to somehow pick a winner. It just happened to be Scott Shemry. Tough break though for Cam Moat. The good news is Scott Shemry, the points leader, does go through to the round of 16, but boy did he have to earn it.
Yeah, no, that was hard work. You know, Camo's an awesome driver, but well, I had to put it hard down there. There's Achilles 1, 2, 3 tyres. Got me there at the end. You know, I had to put it down. That last run, I had to pick a winner, so I just threw it everything I got in my chase run and just got by him.
There is the car that Cam had to step out of. Fuel issues for the 350Z, and unfortunately out in the round of 32. And on the other side, you've got Scott Shemry, the points leader, who continues through for the Blaze unit in the Australian Brewery. We have 16 left here at round 2. This is Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars, thanks to Achilles Radio.
Obviously, debuting the car is a big deal. It started off as a 2013 Toyota 86 ZN6, rolled it off the trailer as a new car, stripped it to a bare shell. Obviously did away with the standard FA20 platform, just went to a V8. Like, it's hard to beat the torque, the power of a V8. So runs a V8 LS2 stroke to 6.8 litre, has a T56 6-speed gearbox. I'm really surprised. There's not really anything got changed about the car at the moment. It feels, you know, pretty well where I want it to be. So drive it for a little while, get used to it, and then make some changes. Yeah, I love the South Circuit. Like, obviously what George has done with Hi-Tec and bringing drifting back to the South Circuit, I think is an amazing job. We all love this track. Like, obviously the figure 8 track's good as well, but this track really gives you a lot more room to push hard and find the limits.
And he is putting that brand new 86 to good use. Second in qualifying and walking through in a bye run to the top 16. This is Sydney Motorsport Park, a track with just so much history. And now we're riding a new chapter today. It's round 2 of Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars. Here's how they line up inside the top 16. Bo Yates will be up against Kieran Jackson, who's been busy fixing the damage after that head-on collision. And how about that for a matchup? James Abbott up against Gavin Edwards, a pair of Nissans, one with Toyota power, one with a V8. So definitely different ways of making the horsepower. We've got some huge horsepower cars here. Let's get back into it with Matthew Hill and Andy Worth doing the chasing in the Toyota.
Yeah, as they come down into the judging section here, Andy giving away an early lead there to Matthew Hill, both coming through, and as we switch back to this outside clip, this is the crucial point for the judges that really tripped out a lot of cars. You can see neither of them went to the outside of the track there, giving away easy points. As we head to the replay here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Both of them hit that inside clip, but as they come through here, both in the middle of the track, not going to the inside, not going to the outside, and the judges have been very specific about what they want, so I guess that's what we're going to look for in the next run.
Drift Citizens, the sticker on the steering wheel, that's the club that he drives for. Talking about Matthew Hill, the 25-year-old from Dural, sitting mid-track, but good proximity, definitely closer to the back this time through, but that is good from the Drift Syndicate Toyota across the finish line, and that might have been enough to get the win.
Yeah, as we head to the in-car here, Chad, you can see Andy Worth's car out in front, V8-powered AE86, gets right to the outside of the track there, and that's what the judges need to see. They need to see back of car in that outside clipping zone. It really turns that rest of the track into a bit of a corner, makes it a lot more technical.
And Andy's the first of our B-listed drivers to actually make it through. So as a chasing driver, he's the first guy to make it through today. James Abbott in desperate need of some big results and going aggressive at the start with Gavin Edwards doing the chasing.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it, Chad. Jabbett is no stranger to clipping points, no stranger to learning to drive exactly how the judges want to see it. And look there, even put a little wheel over the bumper, just clipping the back of the car through here, right onto the inside clip there. You can see a later transition there, bringing him right to the outside of the track. And as you look through the windscreen, you can see that corner just becomes tighter and tighter as you go up the hill, and that's what we're really trying to encourage here.
He was out in the round of 16 at round 1 of the championship. He needs to get this win ahead of Gavin Edwards. Close proximity through the wide clip. Edwards just clips the cone on the way through. Yeah, and I imagine, Dave, that this will be going the way of Jabbett as a result.
Oh, definitely, Chad. You can see he's nice and close to him there and almost brake checked, as it were. Not really on the brakes, more a lack of traction going up the hill, slowing down the lead car and having Jabbett react perfectly.
The Drift Kid, he's just 21 years old. He's from Brisbane, and he is outdoing the leading right now ahead of Jim Turner, third in the points.
Riding on board there, you really get an idea of the speed these guys are carrying into that downhill entry. It's a lot quicker track, this one, than the Peanut, and they seem to all be reacting well as they come up the hill. I mean, both on that clip, but Jim's straightening up and really handing it to Nick Coulson. He's going to have to work for it in the lead. But heading to the replay here, you can see exactly what judges are looking for. Front left wheel over that ripple strip. A little bit to the outside there, right in that outside clipping zone, and you can see Jim straightened up, balked a little bit, I think, because he stayed in the middle of the track and it was all over for him there.
And he would know too. He would know that he needs something pretty special right now. That's why he's going in with that extra angle and approach to that first corner. Nick knows that he'll have the advantage here, just needs to bring it home. They also have spotters that sit up in the grassy hill to let them know that they're getting close to the clipping points, letting them know that they've got a big advantage. And that was a good effort by Jim Turner, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to overturn the scorecard, and there it is. So advantage and win going through to Nick Coulson. He's another man in desperate need of some points after being knocked out in round of 8 at round 1.
Hi, my name's Alex Sharko and I drive the Hi-Tec Oils RX-8 powered by a 1JZ. I've grown up around drag racing. My dad's been drag racing since he was 18 years old. I've grown up with it, but I think sideways is something that took my eye, and my street cars turned into track cars and stepped up to the 1J I currently have now. It's a full built motor and it's a tough setup. So it's currently in a 03 Mazda RX-8. It's the only RX-8 that competes in Australia. The car definitely has a lot of grip, a lot of power, and it's got potential to be #1. It's just a matter of setting it up and getting my brain smack bang in the middle of it. The Hi-Tec Oils Drift All-Stars series is a big bang. The first round was one of the biggest rounds we've been to. It went off tap. My expectations are for the series is to do really well, push to every single series, push as hard as I can. If I can sit in the top 5, I'll be more than happy.
He certainly has stepped it up in 2015 with that brand new Hi-Tec wrap, and that car looks absolutely spectacular. the RX-8. Has had its issues with reliability last year. Hopefully he's going to have a bit more luck this year. He's sitting top 5 in the points. We ride on board with him now. Leading ahead of Rob Arbolino with a big lock-up for Rob on approach to the first corner.
It can be really intimidating to follow one of the faster cars through there, and I reckon that's exactly what's happened to Arbolino. I mean, Shark has been known for his very high entry speeds there, very aggressive and a flick as he comes into the judging zone. And as you see in the replay here, I think it was just a little bit above Arbolino's comfort zone and threw him off and handed Sharker an easy win.
Ooh, but there's problems down on the start line.
Sharker rolling up, raring to go, but unfortunately it looks like there's an issue with the car. He was struggling with the power steering before, but looks like maybe battery this time.
Okay, so he's going to have to go back to the pits. He's elected to take a 5-minute break to get it fixed, which is his right. We're going to push right on now with Scott Shemry. He's opened up a nice gap ahead of Andrew Date.
A little bit of a faint entry there and getting a lot of angle and a lot of smoke as he comes through that outside clip nice and wide. Exactly what we're looking for. Heaps of angle on the transition back. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful switchback using all of the lock that car has to give. As we ride on board, he makes it look easy. I mean, these cars, modified front knuckles, a lot of suspension work going into them, and they almost drive themselves, or at least that's what a good driver will make you believe. And the judges ruled no advantage there, so it's going to go again for the second round.
And he's also elected to take 5 minutes as well. He's come back into the pits. He's talking with his teammate, James Abbott. Unhappy with, it looked like he was saying steering, but the boys are looking at the back of the car.
Yeah, maybe something rattling there from the hand movements. Yeah, he's grabbing onto the wheel there. Probably one of their inside pickup points for a suspension arm. Maybe a bush flogged out or something a bit rattly there. But, I mean, with the right to take 5 minutes and really get the car competitive before you get back on the line, you'd be dumb not to take it in a high-pressure situation like this.
Man, but if it's suspension-related, 5 minutes is going to be a very tough job to get that fixed. I remember watching Freddie Usbo trying to change out a drive shaft within 5 minutes here at Formula Drift Asia. And for Scott Shemry, it's a patience game right now, as we're going to go back to the track at Billick now and Benny Mears. So plenty of drama in the top 16 so far here at round 2.
That's it. 2 other high-speed cars here coming into the judge session. Bit of a front-wheel lock-up, but looking almost intentional.
Both cars off at the first corner. Ben Mears just followed Ant Billick in. And this is going to be no advantage either way. It's going to be a pair of zeros, seriously.
That's it. As we head to the replay here, you can see both cars just a little bit above their speed comfort zone there. And when you're chasing, it's way too easy to get sucked into the line and speed of the lead car. Switching it up here, letting Ben Mears lead. They seem to have got that speed a bit more under control. Both of them a little bit conservative, but hitting the clips as they should. Very wide. We'll see as the transition comes back here, Mears pulling away slightly from Billick. Doesn't mean Billick's not pumping in that angle and smoke, but yeah, straighten up from Mears there. This is going to be interesting to see how the judges call, Chad.
Well, it was a no advantage on that first run through, and the scorecards are in, and it's Billick who will get the nod, and he's extremely lucky to have done that given the fact that they both had that spin earlier. If Mears hadn't had that spin, he would be going through. Al Sharker now, he's had his 5 minutes. Now he needs to produce one of the chases of a lifetime, chasing down Rob Arbolino. Arbolino's backing it in.
Seemed to have picked up some mambo as well there, Chad. Arbolino giving a really nice Scandinavian flick into that corner with a lot of speed and a lot of aggression. Ready to stick it to Sharker, one of the veterans of this series, and seems absolutely unperturbed by that effort from before.
Yeah, Rob Arbolino, one of the sleepers here this weekend. Not a guy that we had circled to be going the rounds, but has been really pushing it so far and unlucky not to get around Al Sharker. Good points though for Sharker, made the top 4 at round 1 and is going through to the final 8. But good drive from Rob Arbolino.
Interesting battle here for the engine swap fans. We've got a Toyota chassis with a Chevy V8 in it and a Nissan chassis with a Toyota 2JZ motor in it. Very interesting combo and the sort of stuff you can really expect from drifting. Another thing you can expect is Brad Tui to be going all out. I mean, using all of the angle that that beautiful Wisefab front end gives to that Toyota 86. And you can see absolutely gapping the car behind him. More angle, more smoke, but also more speed.
A couple of cars that run JSI Aero kits. And fancy handwork for Jeffries. Not enough to get him the advantage. Brad Tui getting the nod, but this will be the first time that Brad Tui's actually had to chase a car so far today because he had a bye run in the round of 32. So can he keep that proximity up? Whoa, very shallow on the entry and nearly spins it off the curb.
Yeah, a bit of a balk there early on, but seems to be trying to make up for it through the back section of this track as he comes up the hill, hitting that clip, putting that proximity in, but will the judges forgive the earlier mistake? As we head to the replay here, you can see them both coming up over the hill. A little bit conservative there with a brake lock up, sending him straight to the inside of the track, missing the end of that entry clip, and chasing with passion, actually coming out with the win here over Jeffries. Valiant effort there after a mistake early on.
So he's been reporting some handbrake issues. I think that was fairly evident down there at the first corner, so something to think about. Okay, Scott Shemry back on track, chasing Andrew Date.
Two wildly different cars, but both very aggressive in different styles. I mean, Andrew on that big Scando entry there, not something you'd expect from a low 200 kilowatt SR20 powered S13. I mean, he's driving the wheels off this thing, Chad.
Oh, and a mistake from Date right at the death. He straightened up, coming out of the last corner. Shemry nearly ran up the back of him, and that's going to cost him. He had him hosed. There was a huge chance until right there when he lost it just at the exit that he was going to take out the points leader. Shemry handed a lifeline and will go through to the top 8. Now it's Bo Yates and Kieran Jackson. Jackson after having to fix the front end of that car.
Yeah, two personal friends here, Chad, both Shire boys. Really like a bit of friendly competition between these two, and it's a battle I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. You can see as they come up the hill there, Bo using a bit of a smokescreen effect, just basically planning it and trying to blind the car behind him. I mean, as you go on board here, you'll see how effective that is. As soon as Yates is on the power, that car pretty much disappears, especially up the hill. Lots of angle, but you can't keep an eye on exactly what you're trying to chase and how close you're willing to get. I mean, it's easy to kind of balk a bit at that as well after having earlier contact.
Well, I was pretty impressed with Kieran Jackson's effort there to try and stay on him, but there was only so much he was going to be able to do. Now, Jackson's opened up a bit of a gap here, but there's 470 kilowatts underneath the hood of that 86 to try and make up for it. Oh, he's way wide at the final right-hander, and that's going to hurt him. He needed to get to that inside clipping point.
Really unfortunate, Chad. I mean, you look here, he's got a huge gap on Bo Yates, but as he comes up on the hill, just that late transition missed the clip, and there's not much he can do about that.
Number 1 qualifier goes through, and this is exciting. Amazing sport when you slow it down, and we're at the South Circuit, top 8 time right now. Some clouds gathering over the Blue Mountains. Drizzle earlier today, but fantastic conditions for drifting, and this is how they line up. Battles as they'll be. Bo Yates will take on Andy Worth in a new versus old Toyota battle, but it's Shemry versus Sharka that's going to be definitely the standout battle there, and that is where we're going to start it right now. Points leader, and that points lead on the line. And check this out, the boys are going to make sure they're nice and close before we even get to the chicane. And it's time to throw it sideways. Oh, and Sharka with issues before he even got to the first clip.
Yeah, it seemed like a little bit of a front wheel lock up there, not quite sure where to put it with the lead car, Shemry, and that's just left him with a gap through the rest of the course. I mean, he's playing catch up through all those final clips there. We'll head to the replay here, and you see both very aggressive with an early throw, but straightening up from Sharka. Little tap from the handbrake, trying to get it sideways again, but it was all over, and the judges called it Shemry.
So Shemry with the advantage. That's better this time from Sharka. Can Shemry go through once again? There wasn't a single time last year where he missed the top 8. He doesn't want to do it right now because he is the points leader. But Sharka is blazing it up and laying down a near perfect run, and Shemry stuck with him. How? How did he appear from the smoke? Achilles radial replay time. Shemry with the proximity gets the win, but that was seriously impressive. You can see the smoke screen that's gone up there. Scott Shemry, you absolute star.
Yeah, no, I love Alex. He's pretty cute. You know, we've battled out a few times this year, and I got on top of him again today, which is good for the team. You know, hopefully we can get on that podium again.
And how's the car looking after a bit of close racing?
Yeah, no, I snapped the camber arm early in the day and we didn't know until my last battle just before Alex, but the boys got a change within the 5 minutes, got back out there. Car's running awesome, can't wait get back out there and bake some more Achilles tyres.
All right, well, we look forward to it.
Thank you.
Tell you what, Dave, that's what champions do. They consolidate. When they're having a bad day, they find a way to get the points. That's what Scott Shembry's doing. He's gone through to the Final Four. Who's going to be joining him? And Billick backing it in ahead of the Achilles Radials ute of Nick Coulson.
Yeah.
Oh, and spinning.
Oh, I was going to say there, Nick, a little bit conservative there, but rightly so, with Billick actually spinning in front of him and handing an easy chase car win. I mean, earlier on in the runs, we saw that chase cars pretty much the underdog rule across the board. So as they come through here, Coulson giving him a bit of a gap, little tap on the handbrake, keeping conservative, but showing true mastery, being able to avoid contact there with Billick as he spins to the infield.
Bring up a good point until we got to the top 8. 20 out of the 21 runs have been won by the first of the lead cars. And look at this, the problems continuing for Billick, and a second spin. He is going to be out in the round of 8. Good points haul coming up for Nick Coulson. He was out the round of 8 the first round. He is going to be driving for a spot in today's final now.
As we head to the replay here on car, you can see a little bit of a lock-up sending him straight, so he's tried to recover, and on the re-clutch, bang! Bit of a power whip, not what we want in drifting, but good on him for giving it a go.
And now steps up the defending champ, doing the chasing. It's James Abbott, winner of 3 events last year, on the podium at 5 out of the 7 events. But he's down in the points in 2015. He needs to beat Brad Tui right now.
Yeah, not giving up an inch at all as they come through here. Both of them going slightly towards that outside clip, but not as close as we would have wanted. This clip here, they're right on point and up and over. Literally clipping that clipping point with his front bar. Shembry, what a beautiful chase.
The Blaze Unit crew love it. Achilles Radials replay. And this, for me, as we wait to see who gets the advantage, it's Jabbett with the advantage. And you know why he got it? Proximity, proximity, proximity. Check him, stick the nose right up alongside the Toyota at the finish. That thing just grips up.
Yeah, a bit more track there, and I reckon he would have got the overtake, Chad.
That is wild stuff. Can Tui turn it around? Check the speed and angle and approach to the first corner. That is wild. And Tui's facing a round of 8 exit here. He's shallow, he's missing the clipping point. He's not emulating. And our number 2 qualifier is about to exit in the round of 8.
Tui really struggling with a lot of grip here. That's putting extra pressure on the handbrake, as you can see here. I mean, he's trying to get it to lock up, but a lot of grip from the Achilles tyres. Actually sorting a couple of bit shallow entries and a little bit of a straighten up here before the car comes back onto power.
So Tui goes out in the round of 8. Let's catch up with him and find out what the latest is.
Yeah, and to lose to a guy like James Abbott, you know, he's a legend in the sport, so it's just good to take it to him and make it a close battle, I guess, yeah.
And you were saying as well that they've got a few more engine developments planned for this car, so should we see a bit of a different car next time?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so in May, I can't say too much, but in May it's definitely going to be getting some horsepower upgrades, and then I can dial in more grip. As I said, these Achilles tyres are just so grippy that you need the horsepower to overcome it, so looking for more horsepower.
That sounds exciting. Let's go to a Toyota now that does have plenty of horsepower. Nearly 500 kilowatts for Bo Yates in new versus old Toyota fashion this time.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of deja vu for Bo here. I mean, up against the AE86 that looks not dissimilar to the car that he made a name for himself in, but quite different under the bonnet. Andy Worth shoehorning a LSV8 under there that seems to have no troubles keeping up with Yates's 2J-powered 8.6.
Achilles Radials replay. Nice work from the Drift Syndicate car this weekend, but I guess he's kind of drawn a little bit of a short straw in the round of 8, taking on Bo Yates, who is just in unbelievable form. Went to the final at round 1 and looks to be heading to the Final 4 at the moment.
You can see him coming through here, chasing real mastery there, not giving too much of a gap, but enough that he can catch up with a much faster car, higher grip, higher horsepower, and just sticking it exactly where he needs to on the back of Andy Worth's 8.6.
That's some nice emulation towards the end of the run too.
Definitely. As we head to the replay here, you can see both of them right in that outside clip, moving in just as they need to, and the judges giving the advantage to Worth there, as he deserves. I think Worth's line much superior through here. Look at him hit this inside clip here, and on the quick transition, just seeing through the smoke into that inside curb and just where he needs to be.
Nice. So Andy Worth pushing Bo Yates the whole way and earning himself a rerun, so they've got to do it all over again, which means Bo will do the leading this time through. Then it's all up to Andy, and Andy throws it away at the first corner. No.
That's super unfortunate, Chad. I mean, chasing a car like this and getting a rerun is an impressive effort from Andy, and I bet he was just super keen to show what he could do there and ended up on a straighten. As you see in the replay here, a little bit of a switchback, grabbed onto the handbrake, put it away safely, and yeah, very unfortunate.
But Bo does still need to lay down a chase pass here. Can't afford a spin, just needs to stick it to the back of the Drift Syndicate. Old school Toyota, and he'll be going through to the final four yet again.
You can see Andy just holding on with every slither of hope here that he can get this, hitting all the clips, really driving exceptionally here as he comes through the end across the finish line. Pretty much flawless run there. How are the judges going to rule?
Well, it will go the way of Bo the Show Yates, who's made the final four once again, something that he did out of 4 out of the 7 events last year. So a strong showing for Bo Yates. Just had to keep it on the black stuff, didn't he, that time through, but nice work from Andy Worth. We're going to go off to an ad break, but the final four is not too far away. Which 2 drivers will be doing battle for the honours here at round 2? We're about to find out.
Hi, I'm Nick the Drift Kid Carlson and I drive the VE Achilles Radial Ute. Drifting's a weird thing, I guess. Getting sideways is not normal for a car to do, and same as human reaction is to turn the opposite way, and to me that's what drifting's about. It's also about having fun. Drifting is definitely a professional sport. I would say in Australia it's still in the early stages in Australia, but thanks to people like George from Hi-Tec Oils are making this great series for us. Well, it's definitely taken off with some pace. I think drifting in Australia can go a fair way. I think if you're going out there with that mentality of trying to go out for number 1 and thinking too much into it, sometimes it can affect you. I kind of go out there, just do my normal thing, do my normal runs and go from there and see how he goes.
Drift Kid has made the final four. Round 2, Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars, thanks to Achilles Radials. And we are getting closer and closer to the business end today. Let's check out how they'll line up in those final battles. And Nick Coulson has James Abbott, a strong matchup, but to be fair, Bo Yates versus Scott Shemry on the other side is just as difficult. I guess, Dave, we do have a chance of an all-Blaze unit final here today.
Not that Coulson or Yates are going to let that go easily. I mean, it's a star-studded lineup here, and you can see both of them lining up side by side, getting ready to go for a really fair battle, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see.
Coulson with big speed on approach. Both drivers letting the rear ends just about touch the tyres, which is where you need to be. Oh, just nipping away at that tailgate. Great proximity.
Yeah, Jabbett's really not letting anything go there for Nick, and as they come through that last clip, pretty close there. We head to the replay here and you see them both come in, both bums right in that clipping zone, and then nice and quick into that inside clip. Both head into the outside here, and I agree with the judges, no advantage. Both of them driving exceptionally. I can't wait to see Jabbett in the lead.
Good battle so far between our number 6 and 7 qualifiers. And now it's Coulson to do the chasing, powered by a 6-litre supercharged massive motor under the hood of the Ute.
It might look like something you'd see on the street, Chad, but this thing is an absolute monster. As you can see, just sticking it to the back of Jabbett's car there with the higher powered and higher gripped S15, pulling away a little bit in the end. You can see here Coulson struggling a little bit with the slower entry speed of Jabbett in front, but then bang, out of the slingshot up the hill.
And it is Jabbett who gets the points that he so desperately needed after being out early at round 1. Let's go to the pits with Molly Taylor.
Fresh tyres I can see going on now. Anything else, or just tyres and good to go?
We're just going to put some tyres on. The Australian Breweries guys are going to just have a quick check over the car, make sure she's good to go. Getting a bit warm, but I think we'll get another battle out of it.
Well, I think the party will be at the Australian Brewery tonight if Scott Shembury can get around Bo Yates and join his teammate in the final two. But for Bo the Show, he's looking for a hat-trick of final rounds if you go back to the last round of the championship in 2014 and have a go at the smoke. Oh, that is close.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there from Shembury, trying to close the gap on Bo Yates, but unfortunately coming in a little too hot on his door, having to back off to avoid contact and giving Yates an easy win in the lead. I mean, we'll see it in the replay here. They both came in very close, and then on this fast switchback here, just quickly gaining on Yates. That was close.
That 86 appears out of the smoke almost like it came out of nowhere, and that is advantage Yates, and a big advantage at that. Can Scott Shembury turn it around? The points leader is risking giving it up right now to Bo Yates.
Yeah, Yates sticking to him and just really being conservative there. Doesn't need to put on too much after Shembury's mistake earlier on, and you can see here as well, a little bit of a mistake there entering in the middle of the track.
So the points leader goes out, and now Bo Yates has a chance to take that lead away.
Bo, so guaranteed podium, top two, final round. I just saw you and James having a bit of a chat back there. So were you guys G'd each other up, or what was the conversation?
Oh, there's always stiff competition when you're dealing with the Blaze unit, but it was good to, Scott and I are first and second in the championship, and it was nice to beat him. I think I just smoked him out. If anything, my car's kind of there and thereabouts, but probably just off the back of the speed of Shembury's car. But it's nice to get a win on him because those guys are a pretty formidable bunch, and we don't knock them out early. They're always going to be there at the end.
Time for the trophy rounds. This is nearly the end, but first we need to find out who's going to take the final step of the podium. Scott Shembury to lead us off, Nick Coulson to do the chasing, and this is not just for trophies, a spot on the podium, but for big points too.
Oh, definitely. Shembury bringing his A game here after making a couple of mistakes up against Yates, really trying to claw his way onto the podium, but Coulson's not going to give him an easy run, and as they come through the back here, it looks like level pegging.
Achilles replay time, and a good chance to learn from one of the best. He might just be 21 years old, but Nick Coulson drives like a man who's been there since the very start of drifting, using the 6 litres of supercharged power and sticking fairly close to the back of the Blaze unit car.
Yeah, very prepared driver there. You could see hand on the handbrake, waiting to use it, but did not need it, trying to get the most speed he can out of this car. So heading to the lead, I think it's going to be a pretty close run considering that there was no brake checking from Shembury out in front. Both of them coming in very close here, and on the switchback, not much separating them, both going wide to that outside clip. How will they come through the top? Coulson a little bit closer to the inside, and as they switch back, also very close to that clip.
Shembury not quite as close as he has been to the back of the tailgate. He's been so close in his chase runs towards the end, and as a result, we're going to have to send them around one more time. You could not separate them, neither could the judges. Coulson v Shembury for the final spot on the podium will happen again. So we send Shembury to the front, and it's Coulson to do the chasing.
Good view for the chase, Chad. I mean, Coulson's a real master of the chase run. We'll see it through here. Hand prepped on the handbrake, ready to go. And as he come in here, he'll just be using it a little bit as he needs to, but not trying to wipe off too much speed while chasing a fast car like Shembury's.
Coulson did make the final Formula Drift Asia on this circuit, lost out to Levi Clark. And there was Shembury just pulling away a little bit, a couple of car lengths towards the end. Great shot of just how much angle these guys squeeze out of those front wheels.
Yeah, you can see very close here, but as he comes to the switchback, you'll see on the transition here, Shembury's car is just gone. A real high grip, high powered car that just thrives on this uphill course at South Circuit.
Both Blaze unit cars are actually really strong between the last 2 clips. They seem to find a lot of grip there, and that was enough for Shembury to get the advantage, and a nice chase run here for Shembury. Sticking into the back of the Achilles radials ute, very close.
You can see what we mean about the grip there, Chad. I mean, there was no gap in the end there, and I think that has a lot to do with the chase car just being a lot faster up the hill, and more importantly, as you come to that straight bit here. So you see, as they come to the outside clip, both very close, but then we come to the switchback here, he's not letting anything go.
There is Scott Shembury hamming it up as the boys wait to know their fate back in the pits. They're waiting on the announcement too, just like we are. Will it be Coulson to the left, Shembury to the right? Here it comes. And it is, yes, Scott Shemry, the Blaze Unit team, will be on the podium with both their drivers. He picks up the drift kit in celebration. Coulson can see the funny side to it. Let's catch up with Scott Shemry, third place here tonight.
Well done, Scott. Another podium, so you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, couldn't be more happy. We had a few troubles today and got through some of the battles just by the smallest of the nose, just like my mate here, Nick. Congrats to Nick, man. That was probably the two hardest battles I had all day. He threw everything out, I had to throw everything out, and I probably just got it by the scrimpiest bit, I reckon. So congrats to Nick and his team, and congrats to my team and all my sponsors. The Achilles Tires were killing it today. Brewery going to go back there and sing some beers, so yeah.
Congratulations, very well driven. And Nick, you've got to be happy as well. Fantastic run. You looked awesome out there. How was that battle for you?
Yeah, definitely two of the hardest runs I've done today. Scott's an awesome driver, good mate, so he did very well. He obviously got above that little bit. I was pushing as hard as I can, but it was good fun. So I'd like to thank Achilles and my team as well, and thanks to everyone for coming out.
We look forward to seeing you at round 3.
Thank you.
A 5th and a 4th, not a bad points haul for Nick Coulson. And Scott Shemry also looking the goods as well. Let's check out how our two finalists got to where they are today. Bo Yates, this nice matchup against Kieran Jackson in the top 16. Saw him go through, and then he took out the car that I'm sure he would feel a fair bit of nostalgia for in the round of 8.
Bo the Show making a name for himself in a white 8.6 like that, but also for sticking tough battles like this one up against the Blaze Unit team member Shemry, who we've just seen secure a spot on the podium. Now will it be a 1-3 Blaze Unit finish or Bo on the top?
This is how Jabbett got there. He went around Gavin Edwards in the top 16, which saw him line up against our number 2 qualifier in the Achilles Radials 86. I'm talking about Brad Toohey, and a very, very tough matchup against Nick Coulson in the round of 4. Now we have but 2, sun setting. This is what drifting in Australia looks like. Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars round 2 on the South Circuit with the speed and the smoke. It's time to crown a winner. Will it be James Abbott, last year's champion, or the man who could take the points lead right now if he can win this final battle?
It's really anyone's game here, Chad. I mean, both drivers put a valiant effort in through the top 32 battles to make it here to the final round, top 2. And as we see Bo Yates' car come through that judging section, a lot of power skating, I bet, with barely even a clutch kick to get that rear out. But Jabbett putting it nice to the outside clips. We see here Yates going very wide there, exactly what the judges were looking for while Jabbett cut the corner, but then rolls reverse as Yates goes a bit wide through that top section. It's going to be an interesting one for the judges, Chad.
And Jabbett with that supreme grip at the end keeps that proximity. Nice wave out the window to say, yep, that was cool. Let's check it out riding on board Achilles Radials replay with the defending champ.
You can see here they both hit that inside clip coming through the bottom section here, but here is where it's crucial. Jabbett still on the inside of the track while Yates goes nice and wide, exactly as the judges have asked, and I think he's going to get penalised for that.
And Jabbett knowing just how much smoke that car throws up, giving himself a chance to see through it. There is Bo the Show. He's been working tirelessly on this Toyota 86, sleeping his workshop. His very understanding wife, Beck, seeing him through it so he can get out there and do this, lay it down when it matters.
I mean, this is what it's all about, Chad. He works tirelessly through the week to get him into this drive and seems to be doing quite well.
Oh, this is going to be a tough one to pick, though. You get the feeling that we might be going around one more time here because that was almost a carbon copy of what we saw the first time. Look at the angle of that front wheel and just how much space is under that wheel arch. That's one of the secrets to why that car is so successful.
Yeah, it's running a Wisefab front end up front, which is quite different to a lot of other setups, actually running zero Ackerman and really tiny front wheels there to give maximum clearance on the inner guard for lock.
The judges are scoring this one even Stevens, no advantage on either run. And we are going to get another look at Abbott versus Yates. I think that's exactly what the punters were wanting anyway. So let's send them back around and go once again.
Yeah, you get a feeling sometimes the judges send them one more time just for the show of it. But there's very little division between these two drivers in this round, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go with another battle to achieve.
Jabbett plucks third gear, backs it in. I think Bo Yates was saying that he's been running the course in 4th so far this week. And that is good proximity from James Abbott, looking out of the side window as Yates runs a little bit wide at the end, and Jabbett nearly gets the overtake across the finish line. He also nearly slaps the wall. Just got that car back under control. You can see the shock on the team's face.
Yeah, from everyone except his fellow driver Shembri knew exactly that's what you got to do to win. I mean, sitting in car here with the Achilles replay, you can see as they come for the transition here, he's gone almost for the overtake there, really trying to get closer to that clip and show what we need across the finish line.
How was the car control at the end to get that thing gathered back up? Oh, hang on a minute. We've got a problem here for James Abbott on the start line, and you can't ask for 5 more minutes in a final either. Handbrake on. Steering wheel coming off. And this is his way of signalling to Bo that there's an issue. Don't tell me that Jabbett's going to have to forfeit this one, and Yates is going to go through unopposed. Are you serious?
Yeah, the issue there, Chad, is that Jabbett's rolled up to the start line signalling that he is ready to go, and once the green light is given, the battle is on regardless of car failure.
Well, it's not quite the way we wanted to see it settled. We're hearing clutch drum is the problem for James Abbott. And Bo the Show Yates, back-to-back finals, and does what he did last year, claiming an event win and also the points lead. So Jabbett couldn't quite hold on for his teammates' sake. As the sun sets over the Blue Mountains, it will be Bo Yates who takes out round 2. Let's go down to Molly Taylor.
It's no way to finish a weekend, you know. James and the Blaze unit, they're always a formidable side, you know. The two of them combined, you know, they're one of the best teams in Australia. So it's unfortunate to see James. I think his clutch is buggered. So anyway, a win's a win, and I'm going to take it because, you know, it's not every day you get to beat these guys. So I'm really stoked. You know, the Niddos hung on really well today.
Congratulations to Bo. There's the new point score. He takes that lead by 3 points. Nick Coulson jumps up to 3rd now. Jabbett jumps from 9th up to 4th, with Alex Sharker still hanging in there, and Jim Turner being relegated from 3rd a bit further down the order. And Matthew Hill did a good job today. Looking forward to seeing what he can produce, along with Cameron Moat also sitting outside the top 10. The champagne sprays. It's been a fantastic event, and I think Scott Shembry's done quite well to hang on to as many points as he has here. And there is the money thanks to Hi-Tec Oils and also Achilles Radials. The next time you'll see this series, round 3, over in Adelaide on June 6th. We're back on the South Circuit and again on the figure 8 towards the end of the season. Keep up to date with everything on Facebook. Look for Hi-Tec Drift Australia and stay up to date with everything happening in the world of drifting. Thank you to Dave for his comments today. The South Circuit has put on a show. Bring on round 3. Have a look at the proximity. Unbelievable. Canmo driving the wheels off that car.
Oh, and up and over. Literally clipping that clipping point. What a beautiful chase. Quickly gaining on Yates. That was close.
That 86 appears out of the smoke like it came out of nowhere. And that is good proximity from James Abbott. And Jabbett nearly gets the overtake across the finish line. He also nearly slaps the wall. We've got a problem here for James Abbott. And Bo the Show Yates claiming an event win and also the points lead.